So, welcome to Ken TV show. Today we are having a very inclusive interview with one of my friend here, and I think it's going to be more of a conversation than an interview. I don't know if you're getting me.
Yeah, definitely.
We're not going to have an interview, but it's going to be questions and answers. No, let's try to have a conversation. So, welcome to our studio.
Thank
This
you.
is Ken TV show. So, we're humble to have you, and feel free.
Thank you.
So, as we start, we're just going to start with a simple question. There's someone out there who doesn't know you just by your real names. What are your real names?
Well, my real name is Edmond Sylvan Odhiambo Obumba.
Yeah.
But there's been an issue with my name, so some people know me as Edmundo, some people know me as Edmond, but the whole point is Odhiambo Obumba.
Okay.
Yes.
So, just by introduction, tell us something about yourself. There's someone who doesn't know you outside there. Somebody is watching, and they want to know you. They will wish to know you. So, what can you tell us about yourself?
Well, uh, first and foremost, I'm a last born in a family of seven.
Yeah.
Uh, four girls, three boys, one deceased recently.
I'm sorry.
I come from a village called Kadongo. It's not actually a village, it's more or less like a marketplace. It's in Kabondo Kasipul. So I am a Kabondian,
That's
proud
Homa
one.
Bay.
Yeah, that's in Homa Bay County.
Yeah.
Um, what should I put? I'm a recovering alcoholic,
Mm.
starting with that.
Mm.
And I'm also, should I say, a lawyer?
Yeah.
That will follow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what more should I add? My relationship status?
It's okay. I think the answer you've given us is not.
It's enough, right?
It's okay. You're
Yeah,
okay. You're
thank you.
okay. So you say that you're a lawyer. So tell us something about what you pursued
Mhm.
and in which university.
Well, I went to the University of Nairobi,
Yeah.
Parklands campus,
Backgrounds.
LLB
Yeah.
program.
Yeah.
Well, basically, it's just studying the usual stuff. I don't see anything extraordinary about law, but you only need to be someone who reads.
Oh.
Kama upendi, kaa away from it. Yeah.
Hello. So just give me a brief history of your education. Now, reflecting back,
Mm.
I think we were together in high school.
Yeah.
That's been a very long time, quite long time.
Mhm.
So can you just give us a brief history of your education
Well,
when you started?
mm, I started my education in All Saints Kindergarten, Nairobi.
Okay.
And afterwards, I went to Nairobi Primary, class 1 and class 2.
Mm.
Then, after my mom died, that was around class 1, I shifted to Uru Gardens,
Mm.
Langata Uru Gardens Primary for my class 3. And then my dad retired, so we had to move back home. I went to an academy called Kadongo Luminary Academy, class 4 and class 5. There are very famous names there, by the way.
Back to Homa Bay.
Back to Homa Bay.
Yeah.
I went to school with a very famous guy these days. He's called Kena Kopa.
Kinakopa.
Naimba Ohangla.
Oh.
From there, I went to Gotrateng Primary School, class 6 and class 7. Then went to Usuri Primary School where I sat for my KCPE. I got 386 marks out of 500 marks.
That's good.
Of course, I had wanted to go to Starehe School, but my marks were not in there that much. So I ended up going to Upper Hill School. I was supposed to also go to Agoro Sare, but I don't know what happened with my father wasn't in good terms with the headmaster at that time, so I never went to that school. So I went to Upper Hill,
At which school were you? The calling letter. Which
Agoro Sare. High
Agoro
School.
Sare.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I think we share the same. I was also called at Agoro Sare, though I didn't attend it.
Yeah.
I didn't go to Agoro, but I was called there.
Mm.
I think we share some characteristics.
I know.
Uh,
So from there, I went to Upper Hill School. Um, at Upper Hill, I went from 206 to 209. But then circumstances happened. It was my high school years were pretty rough. I couldn't say I really enjoyed my high school time in Upper Hill. I ended up getting a B minus initially, and it was due to the fact that you're being sent away for fees for almost the better part of the school term. You're being sent away for fees and whatnot, and then there's a lot of pressure, and my head wasn't into academics as such. So on clearing, I got a B minus. I tried staying out for a few months, and then
Just to cut you short, what was the cutting point during that time?
the,
Because
cut,
they do vary.
yeah, the cutting point at that time for men was 63 points.
63.
Yeah, and for ladies, as little as 57, 58, I think.
Mm.
And so I got a 57.
57.
And I wasn't happy about it myself, being someone who's always been on top of his class for standards back then.
Yeah.
I went on an ego trip. So there wasn't really any huge opening for me to go for a parallel program because I had other siblings who were still in school. Like I had a stepsister who was in campus, and my sister was also in college, TTC.
Yeah.
So the school fees, and then coupled up with mine, it wouldn't have made any sense.
It's expensive.
So I tried dilly-dallying in Mombasa for a while.
Yeah.
I took 6 months actually. And then there's a sister of mine I really, really like. She's called Judy. She pitched the idea. I wasn't for the idea. My dad sat me down. I wasn't for the idea. I wasted another month. But then eventually I went back to go trotting at Form 3.
Yeah.
Around third term, I think that was when I came.
That was
2010.
2010. I think that's where we met. Actually, that's where we met. Though, okay, that's where we met. That was the time we met in high school.
Yeah. So from there, it wasn't easy. Going back, repeating high school was one of the worst things I ever did in my life. Like, most of the people, it's just a local school. You know that most of the kids from around my home place, the kids I used to school with back in primary, who used to look up to me because I used to ace those papers.
Yeah.
Now it got to a point where, you're going to share the same class. So there are questions like, Buddha, see, we thought ulikuwa ushaenda huko mbele.
Yeah.
And then the same kids that you were with in school when you ulikuwa unashinda, some of them went to university directly and you failed. You know how it felt?
I know that.
So demoralizing.
Yeah.
And then the headmaster was also, he's a good guy, but he was too strict, and his ways were more or less like too formal in the traditional sense,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, like you weren't allowed to just have a conventional haircut, your hair is low. And then I used to wear spectacles.
Yeah.
The whole school, I was the only one with spectacles. So I remember he even asked me, "Are you sure you need those spectacles?" And I'm like, "These ones are not
For fashion.
They're not for fashion."
Yeah.
So I really had a hard time adjusting, but I realized that my classmates were a pretty good bunch, if you ask me. Pretty good guys, ladies, of course. And those were the years throughout my whole schooling that I enjoyed. I enjoyed the most. So after, joining in Form 3, there were those challenges of set books. So I had to start afresh. And then that school never had geography. You couldn't do geography and history. So I used to have a huge problem because I took both.
There was that combination. Yeah, I remember.
Took both. So I had to skive one class to attend the other. But eventually things worked out. I got an A minus.
That's good.
I initially wanted to be a doctor, but classed up with 78 points. So I went in for law because I thought I hated maths. So I never wanted any place, anywhere in my career, save for counting money. I never wanted anything to do with maths. So I chose law.
How could you survive without maths? The way the maths teacher used to tell us.
Yeah, I know.
You couldn't survive without it. So that one, I think we departed in form. I think I left you guys in Form 3. Form 3. Now from there, I was just seeing you in the internet. Everyone is busy chasing their dreams. So you finally joined Nairobi school. That's Parkland.
University of Nairobi.
Yeah.
So I finally joined Parklands.
Mm.
That was in 2013. Yeah, joined it in 2013.
2013. So
Yeah.
uh, we've talked about your family. Mm. Anyway, if you feel that the question I'm asking you and you don't feel comfortable,
Mm,
just say pass and leave it. Because
it's
we
okay.
so I've heard you talking about your family. There are people you've lost
Mm,
during along the way.
yeah.
So by just want to know you more.
Mhm.
Uh, are you married?
No, currently, no. No, I'm not yet married, but there are plans.
The plans mean that you are dating.
Yeah, I am.
So tell us something about your family,
My family.
your immediate family. Uh, you've talked about some loss.
Mhm.
So how did it affect you during your schooling period? How did it affected you as an
Well,
individual, as a
well,
family?
mm,
Mm,
uh, it's normally a very difficult question to answer, but well, it's. I think it's high time I had closure on this. I'll just say it.
mm,
Well, being a last born in a huge family, we are seven. Now, currently, we are six. In a huge family that was so close knit, I barely have memories of my mother, my
biological mother.
maternal mother,
Uh-huh.
like my real mom.
Yeah.
She died in a road accident. She died through a road accident when I was six. Actually, she died on the 25th of September, 1998. And you could imagine, it was 5 days to my birthday. My birthday is on the 1st of October. I was in class one,
Class one.
transitioning to class two. So I used to be a spoiled kid. My dad had like, yeah, let's just say he was affluential during his days.
Yeah.
So when my mom died, things changed so drastically because I was the last born. You're the center of attraction. You're so used to you're spending most of the time with your mom. I was the one who was sleeping in my mom's room, so things just happened randomly. And now you had to start adjusting because my father was always busy working and he was rarely sober at the time. So really, having that close relationship, I don't really remember it well. But I remember having a childhood with my siblings. After my mom died, we got a stepmother in like a year or something or so. Which to me, if you ask me, it was really that meant that he moved on pretty fast. But I still respect the old guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's my dad, so he had his own reasons.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, and life just started tumbling from there. The things you're used to. We moved from Nairobi. We came back to Shags. My dad retired. Things just happened so fast, and you could imagine from going to school with shoes to going to school barefoot to sitting on rocks yet ulikuwa umesoma shule kama Nairobi Primary. So there was that whole sort of culture shock,
Yeah.
and then getting used to having a stepmother was pretty difficult because now all my older siblings had gone. It was just myself, my step sister, brother, and then my blood sister and brother, the late brother of mine. So
Talking about the step mother. I think for a very long period I thought that that was your real name,
yeah,
because
we
even if you look at the the complexity,
Mhm.
they're more or less the same. So for a long time I thought that that was your biological mom, but it's good that
Well, growing up, growing up as having a mom from that tender age, she stayed with us for 20 years. Having a mom from that tender age, I never even used to call her stepmom. Me, I used to call her mom. Well, at the moment, nobody is an angel.
yeah, sure.
We can't all be saints, and I won't bedevil her because she recently passed away. God rest her soul in peace. But she had her moments. you know, she had her moments when she was good, and she had her terrible moments that are embedded in my memory.
Mm.
But there was a day she told me it is what it is. If you're a mother,
Mm.
you're like a hen, a mother hen. A mother hen might brood around with other chicken, but she'll always take care of her own.
Yeah, sure.
And the moment she does that, she will probably peck the other mother's hens. I mean, the other hen's chicks.
Chicken. Chicks,
It
yeah.
doesn't mean that she's not human. It just means that her natural instincts were kicking.
It's natural.
So, being that I was last born, she used to, when we are in public, reputation is everything.
Yeah, sure.
She used to guard it well, being that she took charge of a rather prominent family from that area, so she had to act the part, and we weren't allowed to call her by her children's name because we were living in a single house.
Mm.
So it's her house, not ours, and her rules applied. So I had to toe the line, and so many people used to think I was her son. So even most of our relatives used to think that she gave birth to me during the course of their marriage with my dad.
Yeah.
So I
But,
understand.
but naturally, according to the African setup,
Mm.
you're the son.
Yeah, I am the son.
So there's this question. Thank you. I think I just like how you were answering the questions. You're getting to open up. So many men do not open up. I think we had that conversation before.
Yeah.
So many men do not open up. No, it's not like women. Women, they find it so easy to open up to their fellow women.
Yeah.
But no, with us men, this is how society wants it. The society dictates how it wants us to behave. That a man, you should be hardcore,
Yeah. Chin up, swallow it.
such things. So I think it's good. So another question I want to ask you: what are your hobbies? What are your interests?
I'm a buko.
A book on.
I can read till midnight, sleep for like 2 hours, then wake up, read things. It's just like I don't know. I love gaining information. Like, I'm someone whose curiosity is at its top. I ask questions that are totally unrelated to whatever it is, whatever career path I have in life and stuff. I also like playing basketball, though I suffered an injury that rendered me useless on the court.
Sorry.
I love cycling, and I like making new friends, like genuine friends, and just having a conversation. Another hobby of mine that I dropped was drinking. I loved my
It
alcohol.
used to be a hobby.
I
Actually,
loved
that's not an hobby.
it. I loved it.
So you don't like football. You don't love football.
I do. I love football, but the only thing is,
Mm.
anytime I sit down to watch my team, it gets beaten. You saw me lamenting the other time about,
Yeah, it's all in social
you
media.
know.
So, which team are you supporting? Like in the Premier League or local team?
I have been a Manchester United fan since I was a toddler. My dad used to be a Manchester United fan, so I grew up with JVC jerseys.
Oh,
Initially, I used to like Liverpool because of the logo, the Carlsberg logo, but then I never knew the players. When I grew up, I started enjoying Manchester United games because of Sir Alex Ferguson.